Today we are going to start the last exercise of chapter number 3, understanding the quadrilateral. Okay, so here is exercise 3.4. So the first question, state whether true or false. First A part, all rectangles are a square. So whether this statement is true or false, so the statement is false. Why it is so? Because a rectangle cannot be a square, but while joining the two square, it can form a rectangle. So the answer is false. Second B part, all rhombus are parallelograms. Yes, it's true. C part, all squares are rhombus and also a rectangle. The statement says that all squares are rhombus as well as a rectangles, means square can be a rhombus or a rectangle. So yes, a square can be a rhombus as well as the rectangle. Then the D part, all squares are not parallelogram. It's a false statement. E, all kites are rhombus. It's a false statement. Then F, all rhombus are kites. Again, it's a true statement. G, all rhombus are trapezium. It's a true statement. H, all squares are trapezium. Yes, it's a true statement. How we find out that it's a true statement or a false statement? So, while starting this chapter number 3, understanding the quadrilateral, I had given many definitions as well as the properties of quadrilateral and its classifications of quadrilateral, isn't it? So while knowing the properties, we can easily state that which statement will be a true statement and which one will be the false statements. So before going through this true and false statement, please once go through the classifications and its properties of the quadrilaterals. Okay, the next question. So here is the second question. What the second question says, identify all the quadrilaterals that have four sides of equal length and the B part four right angles. Okay, this is the question number 2. What question number 3 says, explain how a square is a quadrilateral, then how a square is a parallelogram, how a square is a rhombus, and how a square is a rectangle. That means in this question you have to say why or how a square can be considered as a quadrilateral, how a square can be considered as a parallelogram, and how a square can be considered as a rhombus, as well as how a square can be considered as a rectangle. So this you have to explain in the third question. What the fourth question says that name the quadrilateral whose diagonals bisects each other. You have to name the quadrilateral whose diagonals bisects each other. Okay, diagonals intersects each other. You have to name that quadrilateral. Then in the second part, you have to tell the name of quadrilateral whose diagonals are perpendicular bisector to each other. Perpendicular bisector to each other, that means one of the bisector is going to cross the another bisector at 90 degree. That is a perpendicular bisector. Okay, you have to name it. Then again the third one, you have to name the quadrilateral whose diagonals are equal. That means the length of the diagonals are equal. You have to name the quadrilateral. So students, while doing the question number 1, 2, 3 and 4 as well as 5 and 6, it is very important to know the properties of a parallelogram, square, rectangle, kite, trapezium, rhombus. Okay, and all this comes under the classifications of a quadrilateral. So before starting this exercise, please once you have to revise the properties. Okay, so fourth question is cleared. Okay, I will give you the solutions. Before giving the solution, I just explain what the question asked. Okay, now in the fifth question, what is asked in the fifth question, that explain why a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. How many types of quadrilateral we are having? We are having two types of quadrilateral, isn't it? One is convex quadrilateral and second one is concave quadrilateral. So for this question you have to know the difference between convex and concave quadrilateral. Then only you can answer this question, why that a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. Okay, convex quadrilateral, that means a simple quadrilateral which is bounded with the four sides, and in a simple language. And concave, that means it can be a zigzag or a crosswise. Okay, one of the angle is more than 180 degree in a concave quadrilateral, and the convex quadrilateral, one of the angle will be less than 180 degree. So it is very important to know the definitions. Then the sixth question. Look the sixth question, what the sixth question says that. Here is the sixth question. ABC is a right angle triangle and O is the midpoint of the side opposite to the right angle. Explain why O is equidistant from A, B and C. The dotted lines are drawn additionally to help you. That means we have drawn in this question lines is dotted lines. Can you able to see in the figure? Here the dotted lines is helped is drawn due to help you to how to solve the question. Okay, so here is a right angle triangle. The dotted lines are drawn, that means AD is joined and CD is also joined with the dotted line, as well as OD is also joined with the dotted line. Now it can be, while joining the figure, we can easily see that it is a rectangle, isn't it? The rectangle having opposite sides are parallel, and as well as the opposite sides are having equal measures. Okay, what are the two bisectors of this? The two bisector of this rectangle is, that is the bisector one is AC and the second bisector is BD, where the bisector intersect at O. Okay, now we will go through the solution to why we are explaining before solving question number all I had explained you how the solution will be, how the questions can be solved. Okay, so here is question number 2. Identify all the quadrilaterals that have four sides of equal length. Second, four right angles. So here is a solution. So what the first part says that you have to identify the quadrilateral that have four sides of equal length. Which is the quadrilateral having four sides of equal length? Of course, that is a square and a rhombus. A square and a rhombus, when you are going through its property, we can see that a square and a rhombus have all the four sides of equal length or measure. That's why the name of the quadrilateral having four sides of equal length is either a square or a rhombus. Question number 2b part. Four right angles. So which quadrilateral is having four right angles? That four right angles, that means it's all the four angles must be equals to 90 degree, isn't it? So you have to name it. So the quadrilateral having four right angles is either a square or a rectangle. Okay, so these are the two names of a quadrilateral which are having the right angle, that is 90 degree, that is a square and a rectangle. A very small solutions is here. Okay, now question number 3. What does the question number 3 says? So here is the question. Explain how a square is a quadrilateral, a parallelogram, a rhombus and a rectangle. Okay, so you have to explain, you have to give the reason for that. So here is the first, that a square is a quadrilateral. So a square is four sided, so it is a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral spelling I had written in the short way, you have to write the full spelling. So how can we say that a square is a quadrilateral? So first we have to know the definition of quadrilateral. So what is quadrilateral? A four-sided polygon is said to be as a quadrilateral, isn't it? And under the classifications of quadrilateral, a square comes, which is also a four-sided polygon. That's why a square is a quadrilateral with its four sides. So have you understood the first part? Now the second part. Explain how a parallelogram is a rhombus. Okay, so a square has its opposite sides parallel, so it's a parallelogram. So what are the properties of a square we are having? That it's have four sides. Okay, all the four sides are equal, all the four angles are 90 degree, isn't it? The opposite sides are parallel to each other and two bisectors are there, isn't it? So all these properties is going to match with the parallelogram property. That's one of the common property for a square and a parallelogram is A square has its opposite sides parallel. So a square can be said to be as a parallelogram. Understood everyone? Now third part. Explain how a square is a rhombus. We have to explain that how a square can be a rhombus. Okay. So here is a square is a parallelogram with all the four sides equal, isn't it? In the second part I had said you why a square is a parallelogram, due to its opposite sides are parallel, isn't it? That's why in the second part it is said that, in the third part it is said that a square is a parallelogram with all the four sides equal, so it is a rhombus. Why a square is a rhombus? Because square and a rhombus both are having common side, that is common side, that means all the four sides of a square as well as the rhombus are equal, isn't it? That's why a square can be said to be as a rhombus. So a square is a parallelogram with all the four sides are equal, so it is a rhombus. Now the last, a square is a parallelogram with each angle as a right angle, so it is a rectangle. Why a square will be a parallelogram? Because all the four angles of a square is a right angle, so it is a rectangle. So have you understood? You have to just know the classification and its properties, then only you can able to solve this exercise. So it is very important to know the properties. Okay. So here is the fourth question. What the fourth question says that, name the quadrilateral whose diagonals bisects each other. Okay. Then second part, name the quadrilateral whose diagonals are perpendicular to each other, and name the quadrilateral whose diagonals are equal. You have to name the quadrilaterals, okay, which are whose diagonal bisects each other, whose diagonals perpendicular to each other, and whose diagonals are equal. So first part solution of question number 4. The quadrilateral whose diagonals bisects each other can be a parallelogram or a rhombus, a square or a rectangle. So here we are having the four names whose diagonals bisects each other. Okay, one of the parallelogram, second one is a rhombus, third one is a square, and fourth one is a rectangle whose diagonals bisects each other. Okay, then second part, you have to name the quadrilateral whose diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other. That means diagonals while intersecting each other, it will create a 90 degree, isn't it? So you have to name that particular quadrilateral. What's the quadrilateral name comes? So here is the name. So the quadrilateral whose diagonals are perpendicular bisector of each other can be a rhombus or a square. So a rhombus and a square are the two quadrilateral whose diagonals are perpendicular bisector to each other. Okay, and now the third part. Here I had mentioned the second, but it is the third part. Okay, the quadrilateral whose diagonals are equal can be a square or a rectangle. That means length or measures of the diagonals. As we know that under the classifications of quadrilaterals, all the figures are having two diagonals, isn't it? So among the figures, which one of the quadrilateral is having the diagonals length will be equal? So the quadrilateral whose diagonals are equal in length are square and a rhombus. Okay, now the fifth question. Here is the fifth question. What it says that, explain why a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. Okay, now look, since the measures of each angle is less than 180 degree, and also both the diagonals of a rectangle lies wholly in its interior, so a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. Okay, have you understood what it says that convex quadrilateral? That means one of the angle must be less than 180 degree. Okay, so convex quadrilateral means a quadrilateral in which one of the angle must be less than 180 degree, but in a concave quadrilateral, among the four, one of the angle will be more than 180 degree. This is the difference between the two quadrilateral, that is concave and convex. So here it is asked that why we can say that a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. So here is the reason, that since the measure of each of the angle is less than 180 degree, as we know that the rectangles angles, all the four angles is equals to 90 degrees, isn't it? So measures of each of the angle is obviously less than 180 degree. None of the angle is more than 180 degree. Each it is said, that means particular it is talking about all the four angle individually. Okay. Also both the diagonals of a rectangle lies wholly in its interior. Interior, that means we are having a rectangle, isn't it? And the rectangle we are having the two diagonals, and that two diagonals is drawn particular inside the figure. That's why it is said that both the diagonals of a rectangle is completely drawn in the interior of the figure. So a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. That's why a rectangle is said to be as a convex quadrilateral. So have you understood why it is so? A rectangle, all the four angles and each angle is less than 180 degree is the first reason, and the second reason is that the diagonals, both the diagonals of the rectangles are drawn in the interior of the figure. These are the two reasons why a rectangle is a convex quadrilateral. Have you understood, everyone? Okay. Now we will going to see the question number 6. Okay. So this is the question number 6. ABC is a right angled triangle and O is the midpoint of the side opposite to the right angle. Explain why O is equidistant from A, B and C. So as I had told you that ABC is a right angle triangle. Okay. You have to say that O is the equidistant from A, B and C. So for this we have to join AD and AC as well as OD with a dotted line. Clear? In order to solve the questions, we have to make a right angle triangle into a rectangle. So for this we have to do the construction work. Okay. So here is the solution. Produce BO to D, okay, such that OB will be equals to OD. Join AD and BC, the construction part. We have wherever a dotted line is seen, that we have to draw with ourselves. Okay. Now while joining all the sides, a rectangle is formed, isn't it? Then a rectangle ABC is a rectangle. In the rectangle, as we know that its diagonals, two diagonals a rectangle is having, that is diagonal AC and BD, which are of equal measure. That means the length of the two diagonals AC and BD are of equal length, and also it bisects each other at O. Okay. Therefore, due to this reason, OA will be equals to OC and OB will be equals to OD. But the diagonals length are equal, isn't it? AC is equals to BD. Therefore, due to this reason, all the four, that means OA will be equals to OC, OC will be equals to OB and OB will be equals to OD. Why it is so? Because the two diagonals intersects at O. That's why. And also it is said that the diagonals are having equal length. That's why. Okay. So OA will be equals to OB, OB will be equals to OD and OD will be equals to OC. Thus O is the equidistance from ABC. Clear, everyone? So students, we had already completed this chapter number 3, understanding quadrilateral. So chapter number 1, rational number is completed. Chapter number 2, linear equation in one variable is completed. Chapter number 3, which we had completed today, is understanding quadrilateral, isn't it? Then chapter number 12, exponents and power is also completed. Chapter number 16, playing with numbers is completed. In the next video, we are going to start the chapter number 6, square and square roots. Okay. We are not going to start chapter number 4 and 5 because chapter number 4 and 5 is a practical geometry and data handling. That we will do, these two chapters we will do at last when the school will be open. Clear everyone? So if you are having any doubt, please ask me through the WhatsApp number. You people are having my WhatsApp number. Please message me, not in the group, personally message me and ask your doubt. Thank you everyone.